If you don't know what an incorporated trustee is, right, it's a group of people that come together with the sole purpose of advancing, whether it's sporting activities, whether it's cultural, developmental, or charitable purposes. So they are all inclusive of NGOs, churches, mosques, associations, and club. But however, the process of registration can be a lengthy procedure, and a lot of people, get rejected, when they apply for the registration on CAC. So in this video, I just want to address the most five common, mistakes that people make. So you want to watch this video to the end. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're just seeing me for the first time, my name is Joy and I'm a legal practitioner based in Abuja. And on this channel we talk about everything legal. In today's video, we're talking about the five common mistakes that you're making. That is why CAC is rejecting, approving, or is refusing to approve your IT registration, incorporated trustee registration. So the first mistake, and the most common, is the name. The name, when I tell clients a lot of times that, this name will not be approved, they really get angry, upset, or it feels like I don't know what I'm doing. But the truth of the matter is, just because you have thought of a name in your head does not mean that CAC is going to approve it. CAC has already put guidelines on their website, and they have stated that any name that is misleading, or any name that has already been registered or is similar to the one that is already registered, they will not approve it for registration. So it's always difficult for clients to, grasp that understanding that, a lot of people have thought about this name that you're thinking about, and some of them have already glued to a particular name and they find it hard, to just let go. Now, if your name looks like it is misleading or is too generic, you use a word that is commonly used, and it's always is similar to another name, or the spelling is similar, of course they are going to reject it. Now, for people that like to use the word movement, a couple of times people have sent me the word, use movement or something like that. Let me just put it out here, like, CAC does not approve movement. Movement is a restricted word, so they will not approve that movement. You have to use something else like foundation, alliance, or initiative. Even alliance is hardly ever approved, so you want to really take note of that. So before you even, suggest a name, or once you have suggested a name, it is important that you do your own research, try and, check for the availability. I think I've done a video on that, in my channel, on my this thing. I'm going to put the link in the description so that you can watch it, on how you can check whether your name already exists. Now, I always still say this, that even if you do that, but at least it will help you to know, is this name already registered? If you put the name that you want to register, a list of, companies or IT will come out that resembles or is like that one. If it doesn't come out, then know that it hasn't been registered. However, until you formally apply, before they will approve, so your application is still subject to their approval. So it is not completely, totally, a 100% that, if you check it and it's there, that means they are going to approve the name. So you want to bear that in mind. Another thing you need to do is try to make sure that, the three names that you are going to suggest will be a bit different. The first one will be a bit different from the other one. Don't do like, for example, let's say Joy Foundation. Don't just do Joy Foundation. Maybe add two or three words to the second one. Make it a bit lengthy. You stand a better chance of getting approved if your name is a bit lengthy. And then another way to also solve that problem is try to see if you can put, an object of that is already in the NGO on in your name. Let's say that, my object is welfare. I can say Joy Welfare Foundation. So part of my object is also in my name. It makes it easier. You are likely to get approved if you do. People make is the constitution. Your constitution is poorly drafted. You don't draft constitution very well. And constitution is very important, because in that constitution, you must state, the constitution must contain the name, of the proposed name of the IT, whether it's an NGO, whether it is an association, or it's a church. It must clearly, state the proposed name, the address of where it is supposed to be situated, how finances is going to be handled. The finance, is there going to be like a bank account? Who is going to manage the bank account? Is it the secretary, the treasurer, or the chairman? You need to specifically state that. You also need to state, how, the structure, the governing board, who are the people people that are going to be as board members? And another thing is the funds. Is the funds going to be, are you going to get funds, to operate the IT, the NGO? The funds you are going to get, is it going to be, how are you going to get funds? Is it by grants? Is it by dues by members? Clubs and associations, they do that a lot. They collect dues from members and use it to fund the IT. So how are you going to get funding? It's also important that those information be stated in your constitution. The third mistake that I see a lot of people making is incorrect documentation and missing documents. Okay, some of the documents that you're uploading are not correct. Some of them, let's say for example, the publication, sometimes it's not up to 28 days, and then you just upload it or send it to CAC. Of course they will not approve it. It has to be from 28 days, and you have to properly count it from the date that publication was done till when you applied or when you submitted for approval. Double check your documents. Another thing that I find that a lot of people make is identification. The name of the trustee will be different from that in the ID card. So if your ID card, there's a name that is missing, and then you put that name when you are applying, it's going to be a problem. So before you even put the name of your trustees, make sure you look at all their ID cards and make sure that you use the name on the ID card, not the name that they give you. They might give you a name, but make sure you use the one on the ID card, because if you submit it like that, there is a very high probability that it will be queried. Is selecting trustees that do not meet the CAC requirements. And like I said in my previous video, where I stated that your trustees cannot be people of unsound mind. They must be adults. Children cannot be. Let's say you are doing a church, your child or your son or your daughter that is a minor, that is not up to 18 years, cannot be a trustee. So if you are somebody that you want to register an NGO and you want all your family members to be trustees, just bear in mind that if the person is not an adult, the person cannot be a trustee. And then if the person is of unsound mind, the person cannot be a trustee. Or the person has been convicted or is known for fraudulent activities, or is a person of questionable character, just know that that person cannot be a trustee. Or he's a bankrupt that is undischarged. That is somebody that is still in the process of paying his company debts and all of that. Such persons cannot be trustees. The mistake is your aims and objectives do not correspond with what you are trying to. Your aims and objectives is all over the place. It's not properly arranged. Now some people will want to do a lot of things in one space. You need to make sure that what you really want to do is your first object. Try to make it in such a way that all your other objects actually correspond with the first one that you're doing. So let's say you want to do an NGO for the welfare of young girls. If you are doing young girls, that part of the welfare you are giving is maybe give them sanitary pads, maybe educational or something. Don't go from here to here. Don't say welfare of young girls then shift to less privilege. Be more specific in your aims and objectives. Don't allow it to be vague or too general. Make it very specific, okay? And let the first one be actually the main object. And then the final mistake, this one is just an addition or a bonus, like trying to register an incorporated trustee by yourself. I think even for us that are lawyers or real accredited agents, this is a very, registering an IT is a very, it's not something that even we do alone. You trying to register it alone, at least have a lawyer look at the documents. Even if you want to register it by yourself, just have a lawyer check the documents for you, or somebody who knows what they are doing check it for you, to ensure that everything is in order. So that way you reduce the risk of getting queried, or it getting, bounced back to you. So if you're having any difficulty, you can let me know in the comment section and I'll answer your questions. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and put on your notification bell, so each time I post a video, you get notified. Thank you guys for watching. Until I see you in my next video, have a lovely day. God bless you.